YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness versus sharing my life stories and experiences with OCD, Asperger's syndrome, anxiety and everything else that comes in the territory of AS, so that you hopefully can get to know me more than just these myself diagnoses as a person. I'm here to address to you all, regardless what it may be, tips and advice based on these everyday, struggles that we go through, be it anxiety and everything else in our mental health and awareness stage, or just personal struggles that you go through, or maybe, relationship issues and woes and whatnot, that I can be of help to you, to enlighten you. Also, I'm not going to be, judgmental or what have you when you come onto my channel, because I know what it's like being judged, or what have you, based on our everyday struggles that we go through in our everyday lives. I know that everyday people's struggles are different from mine, but I can do the best I can to hopefully give you tips and advice along the way. Some of it may be based on my experience and just, how I go about it, versus, like I said, my journey of just my training that I did a few years back on how to handle these everyday situations that we may face in our everyday lives. I know that some of these tips and advice may be not advisable for everybody, or may not work for people, be it, managing everyday personal struggles, but hopefully you can refrain to what you have to say and actually keep it user friendly for this channel as much as possible. So without further ado, guys, basically, as I said, I'm going to try and quickly take a break from the Let's Talk series, and I'm going to just tidy up some bits that I feel want to address to some other topics as well. It's going to be a variety of different topics. This one's all about the stimming series that I'm going to bring about, so hopefully, like I said, it will be little by little, piece by piece, that you'll understand a bit more on that, as well as just every other topics that I need to tidy up right now before anything else happens. So, and without further ado, guys, basically this one's all about how to redirect an autistic child's, harmful stim. We need to be aware, though, as I said before in the first piece, when it comes to evaluating, is it really harmful or is it not? And actually, despite it being an embarrassment to us, as parents or whoever we're dealing with at that time, that will they accept it, and is it, acceptable? Because obviously you can't stop a child from stimming to a point, because obviously stimming is a way of a coping mechanism for us when it comes down to having a sensory overload or a meltdown stage that's coming on. We need to understand thoroughly about what's going down with the child, so therefore we need to know about this. So hopefully these tips and advice along the way of these steps will actually be of value and use to you, or someone that you know of that you can share around, so to speak, so that everyone can come on board and understand us more as a person. Because as I said before, that it's not very fair at the way the world is at the moment, but it's just life is, obviously based on people's judgmentality, and everyone's entitled to their own opinions and thoughts, but it's just a matter of hopefully when I come to bring some tips and advice along the way, that you guys can respect it. So this is part 3, even though I put part 1 and 2 together, based on how to redirect autistic child's harmful stim. This one's part 3, talking to the child. As we know, communication is important no matter what, and we need to basically bear in mind that without the communication process and being aware of the signs of the stims and whatnot, of what they're doing and whatever else, it can be doing more damage than good. So tip number 1 here is, when it comes down to talking to the child, is, as I said, communication. Taking that child aside from where they are in that environment that is maybe causing them to stim. Sit down with them and explain your feelings about their harmful stims, if it is harmful, and just make it clear to them why the stim isn't a good one for you or the child, so that they can recognise that there is a particular good reason for them to stop, as well as maybe basically, hopefully you guys can have suggestions to what goes down, and with these proposals of your suggestions that the child will take into place. But a tip here to bear in mind is, number 1, a way to explain it is what you could say to the child. It worries me when I see you hitting your head like that. You could hurt yourself. I'm sure if it's no fun on you either. However, what if you tried punching pillows or hitting your head against the couch cushions instead? Number 2, as we know, as I said before, many autistics are non-verbal, and they can understand spoken words regardless, even though people may treat autistic people that are non-verbal as if they're stupid, crazy, and all these other label mentalities that I see out there. But they're not forever stupid. They are bright children. Okay, they may look unattentive to you even though they do understand spoken words. Okay, so explain it even if you aren't sure that they can understand. Or, as I said before, for a non-verbal autistic, maybe draw some diagrams or something for them so that they know basically what's going on. Number 2, have a dialogue about the STIM. Okay, what I mean here is ask your child if they have any ideas for replacements of their STIMs of what they're doing that may look harmful to you or what have you, and what they think could be of help to them. Use the harmful STIM less. Okay, that will help them process that thinking, okay, my mum and dad didn't like me, bashing my head about on the walls or, fist it out with my hands. If their ideas are incorporated into a plan, it helps them feel the ownership of this process of them stimming. Okay, a few things maybe to address here as a tip here. Do you think chili joy would help? Okay, what I mean here is, now for people that stims, okay, I've heard about that there are some joy for them to cope with chilling wise. This will help strengthen their jaw and as well as maybe calm them down to a period. It may help, but hey, it may not. But again, these tips might help to some and not for others. Okay, like another thing is basically when it comes down to these harmful stims, maybe is, again, communicate with the child by, would you like to help me pick out some jewelry from the website? They might like some of these chewy jewelries that is on the website and might get them to start chewing and whatnot. This is a list of ideas I wrote. What do you think? Should we add or change anything? Okay, if you had a list of things for them to replace that harmful STIM, get them involved again so that they know what's going down, so that they actually feel that you're appreciating them and actually changing the situation for the better. Number 1 is maybe let's go to the store this afternoon and pick up the STIM toys you want to try out. Okay, some stores may have some STIM toys that is readily available, but then again, it's just depending on where you're at, because obviously I think from where I'm married, there's not many here in New Zealand of New Zealand stores that helps us autistics, but I know that overseas stores online do actually have the tendency to help out and whatnot, which is quite a good thing. Okay, number 3, talk about how you can help support best for your child. Okay, your support can help the child to transit. For example, if your son puts objects in his mouth and if you decide that gum is better, he may not have gum on hand all the time. However, make it clear that whenever he wants gum, all he needs to do is ask and you'll give it to him. Okay, number 4, discuss prevention for stims that only arise under distress. For example, if your student hits herself when she's upset, talk to her about what makes her upset, and what you can do to help support them. Maybe she can't handle a noisy classroom, or she's struggling with English, or she has an underlying condition that gives her headaches. Address the underlying problem and the bad stim may disappear. Number 5, give gentle reminders if you notice them using their harmful stim again. They may use the stim unconsciously without thought, forget about the alternatives, etc., etc., but speak to them patiently so that they know that you're not mad at them. Ask them what they should do or remind them what they should do. Okay, some tips here is, number 1, Lebron, is that food? Does it belong in your mouth? What belongs in your mouth? Number 2, what do we do when we want to play with fear? Number 3, when we want to spin, we stop before we get dizzy. Your trampoline is right over there. If there is spinning isn't enough for you. Number 6, be compassionate if they are upset. Autistic children may revert to harmful stims if they are under a huge amount of stress, be it, like I said before, the classic signs, meltdowns and the shoutdowns and every other category I like. Use a very patient tone of voice and ask as little of them as possible to avoid further stressing them out. If they are in danger of harming themselves, give them a gentle reminder. Otherwise, choose to remind them once they're calm or just let it slide. Some of these tips, number 1 is you could ask them by, Julie, I understand you're upset and hurting. Why don't we put a pillow between your hands and your head so you don't injure yourself further? Number 2, please don't buy yourself. Here's your stress ball and chewy toy. Would you like to take one of these? Number 3, Rosero, I saw that you were hitting yourself this morning. You seemed very upset and I was worried about you. Would you like to talk about what actually happened? Last but not least, number 4, avoid grabbing or crowding them as they may panic and lash out at you. Number 7, congratulate them when they succeed using the new STIM or ask for help. Set up a reward system, put them into place as well. This will help. While they'll probably understand why they should do it, a little encouragement along the way from you will never hurt. It will help them remember to keep working on what needs to be worked on, feel proud of their progress, and use their healthy STIMs to keep everyone happy and safe. Number 1 is for the tip is, LeBron, I'll get you a carrot right away, thank you for asking. Number 2, Rosario, I'm glad you told me that the classroom was too loud as soon as it started bothering you. You didn't hit yourself once. Feel free to come to me anytime you get really upset. Number 3, Julie, I just wanted to say how brave and strong you were. Headbutting the couch cushions today instead of punching yourself. You did a wonderful job handling your frustration and I'm so proud of you. Okay, basically this quickly ends part 2, or shall we say part 3, talking to the child, even though part 1 and part 2 is consisted in the first introductory part of this series, which I humbly apologise, but you guys will understand hopefully bit by bit, as I said, with these step methods when it comes into play. So thanks for watching, thanks for the support. Thumbs up for support for engagement, comment below, just start a feedback chain on how you go about supporting your child when they STIM and whatnot. Feel free to also comment below just to maybe say a quick hi or something. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Feel free to also just basically private message me if you feel need or have to just say hello or want someone to talk to through my special AspieAnswersAll page. And if you feel that some of the topics that I may address or may not address needs to be addressed, let me know basically by PMing me, and when it comes down to it, hopefully I'll do the best I can to answer your questions, as well as maybe sharing these topics if you want them shared, but I'll have your name anonymous based on it, and hopefully that you guys will understand where I'm coming from. So, and all further ado, guys, thanks for your support, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Aspie signing.